Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to part 2 of me showing you pens that I've been gifted, fountain pens, over the past 6 years. Now in the first video, that was a totally different Monteverde 36 pen case, and this is my other one. And they're both full. I actually have 72 fountain pens that that I still own, you know, that I have here, that were gifted to me. Some of the pens that I was gifted, probably some of the earlier ones, I passed on to other people over the years, you know, and maybe I had duplicates or it was going to be better for someone else. But gosh, it looks like I really hang on to a lot of them, and there's good reasons for that, really, especially being a reviewer. I think I end up wanting to have one of everything to show. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. Like, I like to have a, well, I don't have a shark pen in here because I bought those myself, but this is a swan pen, for instance. I like to have, you know, a model to say, oh yeah, this is a Pilot Metropolitan or whatever. I don't mean to talk for 40 years before I start, but as I said in the last video, that means that 45% of the fountain pens that I own, because I have 158 according to my last inventory, which is up to date, but there may be some that I've already passed on. So it's pretty close. Ballpark, out of that 158, 72 were gifted to me, and that equals 45%. So it's pretty incredible, and I have a lot to be thankful for. Thank you very much. And some of these have been fully explored and are written with and are actually like inked up right now. And some are yet to be completely, fully reviewed or even explored. Probably just the sheer amount of volume of 158 pens, some of which I purchased, and then, you know, these 72. Okay, without any more, because we'll be here all night if I don't get started. The first pen, it's going to be tough to keep short because this one just came through the door to me, and I'm not going to actually tell you all about it because I really want to do a review, first impressions. But what's really super special about this pen is that it not only was it a gift from a pen friend, but it has a stub italic gradient custom ground nib by Audrey. And I've never, as far as I know, unless there's something on one of these that somebody's gifted me, I've never had a custom grind nib, and it's exciting. Not only that, but it's a numbered pen, and I believe that makes it another reason why it's so different in my collection. And I definitely have this inked up, but you're going to be seeing more about it. For right now, I'll just say it's a Herbert Pen Company Goulet pens collaboration, and then, like I said, the nib is the broad stub italic gradient. It's just a dream to write with. I never knew of such a thing, and I'm afraid it may spoil me for just any other nib, you know. But anyway, we can't spend all night on this one because I'll be coming back with this beautiful pen. Oh dear, I don't want to harm it either. Okay, now we're crooked. So you'll be, please don't worry, I'll do a first impressions, kind of a review on that pen. It'll be a joy to do that. The next pen, I won't get it out because it's a Pilot Metropolitan, but what makes this one special, it is a CM, cursive, cursive medium. Anyway, it's like a little stub on it, and it's really a game changer. And a pen friend just sent me this one. This hasn't been very long that I've had it. Then this is a gray, cement gray TWSBI Eco medium nib that I just love that a pen friend sent. It's inked up, so these three are inked up. This is a Pilot Parrallel sent by another pen friend. I think the nib is actually on there. A lot of times the nibs, no, it isn't. It must be ready for the Opus 88 demonstrator. So, but the pen body, you know, needs a place, and it needs a garage, so it's here. And then this one, this is real recent too. I knew I was going to forget. It's a 3024, and I am not sure if it's a wing sung. I have all this in my inventory, so when I get to doing this description of these, it's going to be really something. Let's put it that way. But it has a really neat spring piston filler mechanism. Wow, it is cool. I could probably talk an awful lot about each one of these, but we know, because I've said they're all gifted to me, and some I've already, you know, talked to you about before and reviewed, and some I haven't. But next up is a little platinum shooting star with a 03, I think it is, and it's a Hello Kitty edition. I don't know why, but I'm crazy about this pen. It's probably one of the cheaper pens in my collection, but I worked on the nib myself, you know, and it just writes really smooth, and I have a I have a converter in it that costs more than the pen, so such is the way that we do, I guess. And then this one is a Lamy Style, I think it's a Yiren, Y-I-R-E-N, and it had, okay, I think I moved the rainbow nib off it, it's probably on one of these others, and so, but it's really kind of neat because it took a Lamy cartridge, but what's really neat about it is that rainbow, you know, it's just pretty neat. Anyway, I think it's in the lower end of pen cost, and same with this one. It's a Lamy kind of look-alike, but not a copy, and it doesn't say Lamy, so I'm okay with that. And then this is another of the 3059s. Lanbitou, I think, is the brand. So it's a piston filler that has a lot in common with the TWSBI Eco. And next is a Yafa brand. I don't know much about this pen except that when I inked it up, it wrote really nicely. Has a converter. Has a super comfortable grip. So as you can see, it's an overwhelming amount of choices just with pens that have been gifted to me, not pens that I've raced after and so on. These here, oh, I almost skipped this one. Okay, this one I'd have to go to my inventory to remember. I believe it's a Jinhao, but it's a really nice kind of brass and wood pen, and I haven't used it much yet. It's a shame. I don't know what it is about it. It's probably the fine nib, but it's also kind of, I think, the way it is where, you know, every couple of weeks or so, there's something new that we're chasing. I say we, but I, you know. And so this whole exercise is so good to slow me down and help me to realize, I believe I'm going to keep them parked this way. Except the ones that are inked up, they're going to go where the pen cases that they need to be in for right now. But this is going to truly help me to see, well, it's neat to kind of separate them. These have been sent in, and it can help me organize reviews and stuff, you know. Duh, I should have thought of it, you know, 4 years ago. But these are both Noodler's Charlie pens, I think. I've had some burping with these, so they're eyedropper pens, and burping or spitting, as someone else said. I think it was, oh, it might have been Doug that said that, but I'm not sure who. Anyway, they spit, and I don't care for that, so I'm not really sure about that. And then these are the little, they're like the shark pens, but they're the swan, so they're Jinhao, and they still have the stickers on them, for heaven's sake. Two different pen friends, unknown to each other, I'm sure, sent me these. And they have the little number 5 nibs, and they have a converter. And I think I favor the hooded nib for any kind of an extra fine or fine nib on these little pens like that. But that's something I didn't know right away. That's something I've learned along the way. This, I don't know what this is. Well, it looks a lot like these up here. It's a maybe a Jinhao, or it could be, yeah. No, I don't know. Jinhao usually had like a different style clip. It's going to be some work on these. I'm going to do each pen case position, like this will be pen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then down here will be 10, 11, and so on. So that if you're looking for one, I'll put what I do know, and if I don't know, I'm going to put question mark, because I don't know everything, and surprise, surprise, I don't. No surprise to me. Okay, this is the parts pen. I know that's a weird way of saying it. It's a Lamy All-Star that's had a, you know, rough time, but and so it doesn't have a Lamy nib on it right now, and it does have the feed still, and I don't think, yeah, I believe. But it's good for parts. I mean, what if I had a broken feed or a broken section? You know, I don't throw anything away. Well, I guess you could tell that. Okay. Okay, moving right along. Okay, this is the Black Forest Hongdian Light of Hope. It's purple. It has a Fude nib. If you've been around here, you've seen this pen and you've heard me go on about what a great writer it is. And then I purchased another one, a rainbow one, but this was gifted to me. Okay, next. Okay, well, we are going along on this side here. There's some pens here that I may not even remember what they are because it's been a long time. Yeah, Jinhao 911, okay, hooded nib, and a converter. I think this might have come in just more recently. There were several together. It's a shame. I probably should have kept them bundled together so I could truly remember who sent them, because anyway, that's a long story. But hopefully my inventory will serve me on that. But we're not worrying about that for this description even today. This came with those Rocher Ring pens, I think, from the same person. And it's really cute. It's got a really narrow section. It might be why it doesn't get into rotation very much, but it's just gorgeous. So I'll be playing around with that some more. I think this is a cartridge pen from Daiso, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember when my pen friend sent this. Actually, same one who sent the a pen that we did yesterday that was the Retro 51 at a different time. And it was just a really neat way to, you know, I was just getting in the hobby when she sent this. And it was a neat way for her to show me, you know, the range of price and material, and, you know, because it was like a $1.50 pen, I believe, and if I'm not mistaken. This is one of those Jinhao student pens. There's a number, but I'm now faded in my memory. It came along at the same time as the 599s came. And if I remember right, this was sent by someone who all the nibs from any pen he ever, you know, was involved in were really smooth. And this one was a survivor pen in my collection. This one has a sad story because it was gifted by a dear pen friend, and I broke the feed. I don't know what I was doing. I mean, this pen is this poor thing. Okay, of course it has a nib, but the feed's broken, and so I believe I have other feeds though, and this is going to be a project. It's so gorgeous. It was, I think, Christmas last year. So I get a little sad whenever I look at it because of what I did. It was an accident. Okay, this is another one that it says Schaefer, but if I'm not mistaken, it could have been with the Daiso stuff. It was a medium nib, and whoops, I think it had a cartridge, and that's going to be interesting to find that. It's been a while. Usually I label things, but sometimes I don't. Oh, this is one just like this one. So they're the same pen body, different color, different person, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one is, oh no, see, I knew, but remember, I wasn't going to let the perfectionism stop me. Well, or the quest for having all my ducks before doing this, because this just wouldn't get done. It's a neat little hooded, I wonder if it has a, yeah, it has a bladder filler. I think I had experiences with that. I don't like those kind of filling systems, but I don't think very many people like that. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, so it's just like, oh, I see that and I cringe because I don't know if I'm going to get enough ink into it. This is a Pilot Plumix, and I was just talking with someone about how I could put this nib onto one of my Pilot Metropolitans, not to be too hasty on those. I've already given one of them away, but I have two. Whoops. Okay. I had this inked up once, and I didn't have a good experience, but that was probably before I started using more Pilot ink, you know, for my initial ink ups. If you guys remember, that's something that really helped me. Okay, so down here, I think we've got just about everybody except maybe this eyedropper is inked up quite often. This is a Moonman M600S. I'm just flailing around here, and it's beautiful. I have two of them. Oh, no nib. This happens a lot. The number 6 nibs get moved around quite a bit. especially the broad nibs. But isn't this beautiful? It was a YouTube anniversary present from a dear pen pal. And, well, all my pen pals are dear, but mercy. Some of us go back, you know, so far. And it's just like, wow. You know, and it's a great writer, and it's really pretty. And I must have been rotating nibs. Okay, next up is a Nemesine Singularity. When I first got this pen, I don't know why, but I thought, well, I don't know anything about this. I don't know if they even write good. I can't believe how these Nemesine nibs write. Everyone that I have come into contact with, and I think I now have 3 or 4, they're so smooth. I believe Birmingham Pens still has some. I don't know if they're going to still make them. It has a converter. I usually have a little Nemesine 0.6 or 0.8 stub on this. And it's just a really sweet pen. I mean, it was like, it was a pen that blew me away that I didn't expect it would. Let's put it that way. This pen goes back a long ways. This is the little Mont Blanc 145 Meisterstück Classique. It's a little, it's petite. And it has a little bit of little softness in the medium nib, and it loves Sailor Granat for the ink. It just, you know, it was a little bit of a trying to find an ink that it really, really loved, and that ink it just loves. So whenever I ink it up, it seems like I'm turning toward that ink. And then this is, oh, I know I'm going to mangle it. It's an eyedropper, a Chinese pen. With a super capacity and really, really pretty. Came, I think, with a Knox nib on it from my pen friend. And let me oblique double broad, I think, if I'm saying that right. And what else was it? I can't think. It's got a name, a different sort of name. Begins with an L, I think. I'm going to look at my pen inventory in order to put that in the description for you. Okay, and then next up, another fairly recent, is an Opus 88 Mini, Christmas Happy New Year 2022 Opus 88, and I think I have a broad nib on it. And so I have 2 of these. One I purchased before I got this one, and this one that pen friend had ahead for me and then sent it past Christmas, or sometime this summer, I think. It was just great. It was like Christmas in July, I think. Okay, and then this is a TWSBI VAC 700R Iris. Beautiful pen. The only VAC filler that I have. And I now understand better about how to fill it without just getting a partial fill. You know, I can deal different things that I can do to go ahead and fill it up fully. So that's good. Cleaning it has been a little bit of a challenge, but I always want to learn and do those things. And it's just beautiful. I love the finish so much that the pen I asked for Christmas this year is the TWSBI Diamond 580 in this iris finish. And so that's exciting. That's wrapped up, and I can't have it yet. Okay, it won't be long. Okay, then next up is, this was my introduction. Why is that open? Because that should not have ink. No, it doesn't. That should have been closed. I don't know what's going on. My introduction to Opus 88. It's a Coloro in the red edition. Probably might have come with the medium nib, but I have the medium nib back on it. I have the broad that can switch out between the mini and the Coloro. And then this next pen, which is kind of the same pen body, but this is the Opus 88 Halo, and the color on it is on just the section right here. So it's purple, and this has a broad nib unit. It's just gorgeous. I mean, it's a, you know, I love demonstrators, and I'm beginning to really love eyedroppers. The only time I don't like them is if they spit. So that, and nobody likes that, because you're writing along and ink is like expelled. It's no fun. But that has not happened to me a single time with my Opus 88s. So I don't know, but either I've been lucky or it's just wonderful. Okay, then last but certainly not least, This is a TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR. Okay. And let's see, those nib units bounce around too. I think I have a medium now. I think it came with a stub, if I'm not mistaken. So I've got a lot of versatility with the 3 that I have. And the iris one that will join them, I think, is the last that I'll get in the Diamond 580, because I've got complete versatility of nibs now and units with that. And I'm satisfied and happy with them. So that is, now that totals, that's all of the 72. And I will be, you know, putting together the description, which is going to be quite a project. But I just want to say a big, big thank you. And I want to emphasize how much this project of, well, separating all the pens that were gifted to me, and then prior to this, there were 2 other videos, pens I would repurchase, pens I would not repurchase. All of this sort of activity I've been doing over this time at home has really been helping me clarify what I like and what direction I'm going in. And it's gave me a lot of clarity about how I hang on to things even after I realize that the nibs maybe not what I am going to write with. And so it's, the insights are just flaring all over, and I'm really excited about that, because I think I'm in it for the long haul. As long as I can move my arms and have pens and inks, I'm in this hobby. I know that for sure. And it's, you know, the best part is the people. And then the idea that I already love to write, and that's part of my day, writing letters, writing, journaling, taking notes on books, just, you know, writing all the time. It just makes it that much more enjoyable. And now a whole new, like, world to explore with this stub italic gradient. It's just amazing. I inked it up and I wrote with it, and it was like the first time I got in a brand new rental car after I'd been driving a 15-year-old Dodge car that was quite shaky and quite everything else, and everything was so tight and lean, and you know, it was like, whoa, this pen is going on down the road without me. This was my little just the little writing that I did here in the I still keep these currently inked. It's my 6th one. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. But, you know, it's like, ask me every different day or week. And there's you know, right now I'm all excited, of course, about a couple other pens that I showed you, the Schneider Ray and the Jinhao 80. So I'm sure we all kind of have that in common. And, if you've stuck around this long, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the comments, because I think some of you have seen a lot of these pens, and then others, when you put it all together, which I wish I could have made it one video, but it just wasn't happening. It wasn't able to be done in one, so I decided to do them both and release them at the same time. So you could just go part 1, part 2, or whatever you'd like. I tried to make the thumbnails so that you could even look at the thumbnail and see most of the pens and maybe decide that way which one you want to watch. So I'll see you in the comments. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I want to hear whatever you have to say about these pens. I mean, you're probably learning more about me than I have yet, because as it is, I'm learning. I'm learning that, wow, I hang on to pens for parts. I hang on to everything, and I'm probably never going to be a minimalist in this hobby, but I definitely can see what direction I need to go in. Let's put it that way for now, because there's plenty more time for more videos and more discussion. So I'll see you next time, and bye for now.